Kia ora and welcome to Tarmac. I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and guess what? The Opel Astra is back! And the award-winning car behind us is the new 2023 Astra.
That's right, it's the 6th generation Astra that's bold, pure and autobahn friendly. Come, let's take a look at this. So as we said, this Astra is now in its 6th generation, so five generations before it, and also 30 years of history. So it's got plenty to live up to, but it also has done so well already. So I think it's won the Golden Earring, actually it's the Golden Steering Wheel Award. It's got Red Dot steering awards for design. I mean, it really is taking, so I think it's got the German Car of the Year awards as well. So it really is just stamping its authority straight away. But what it is, this one is actually the first car that's been designed, developed and produced in Rüsselsheim, Germany. That's what they tell us anyway. Looking around the front here, it comes with what they call a visor face. So very much to do with the sort of motorbike visor that looks very protective, and what you'll find is a lot of the sensors and stuff like that are all hidden behind here to make sure that you are keeping very safe. But we'll get onto that in a while. But the rest of the face here, what they're I'm told that there is the Opel shark situation that's going on, little Easter eggs of sharks that Matthew will show you around the cabin. But what they're saying is up the front here, it's sort of a shark in plain sight. So the nose is giving more of a sharky appeal. The other thing about the nose is that it comes out with this compass, north, south, east, east-west, depends on which way you're looking at the screen, all based around the Blitz logo. So there's a lot going around this nose, and also the lights. They're Intellilux lights, and what they've got is 168 different LEDs all hidden in here, making sure that you are nice and shiny out front and also not dazzling anyone, apart from the fact of the car dazzling everybody as it stands. Let's get the car color out of the way to start off with. What Opel are calling this is cult yellow, or some other markets I think are calling them electric yellow, or there may even be an amber yellow, but we're going to go with cult, and it's cult with a K. And also the roof is in diamond black, which contrasts with a K really well with the rest of the color here. So I think it's a really good contrast. There is a sunroof at the top here, which obviously floods the cabin with light. The wheels themselves are diamond cut and very, very sharp, and 18 inches, and also nice thin rubber on there, making sure you grip the road really well. Proportionally, size-wise, in length it's 4.4 meters long, which is actually around about 4 millimeters longer than the previous model, which is not exactly massive, but the wheelbase is actually 13 millimeters longer, so there is plenty more space inside. The other thing is the chassis itself has got around about 14% more rigidity about it than the previous models, so it is a very much a stronger car on the drive. The roofline spoiler is extended right out. That's obviously going to help with this aerodynamics, and also what's incorporated in here is a stoplight in sort of, there you go, in Formula One style, so really sharp from there. The lights themselves are LEDs, and again offer more of this sort of compass style going across the logo here. Astra's written out, and yeah, just actually quite a tidy rear end. But also you flip open here, so actually seen on another German car, I know, but there you go, you can actually open up from there, and a substantial amount of boot space. So plenty of stuff for your gear here, and the rear seats drop down and open up to around about 1,300 litres of boot space. It's also multi-leveled, so you can, the stuff that you want to sort of hide can go under there. Anyway, let's look under the bonnet. What we have here is a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder PureTech engine, but I don't think we call it PureTech here, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Together really does purr when you're putting your foot down. Actually, it's a great audio soundtrack when you really do that. Off-kilter pistons is just great. Anyway, together it gives you 96 kilowatts of power and 230 newton meters of torque. So actually a sizable amount from such a small engine. The other thing is it gives you around about 5.1 litres per 100 kilometres in fuel efficiency, which I'm led to believe is around about 40% increase on the previous model. That is massive. And also when it comes to emissions, around about 117 grams per kilometre. So it does at the moment go for a sort of neutral position when it comes to the clean car stuff. Anyway, speaking of something that's sort of very Switzerland, a neutral position, Matthew's inside and he'll show you what's going on with that.
Speaking of positions, I'm actually in a pretty comfortable one, and as you'll find out, an ergonomically friendly one, because these seats on this Opel Astra, well, they are AGR approved, as you can see by, there's a little tag just on the edge of the seat there. And what that means, AGR is Action Gesunder Rücken, which is like some sort of German authority for seats and ergonomics and stuff like that. So they've approved these seats as ergonomically friendly, especially for your back. And criteria for that means that the seats must be adjustable in several different ways. And the pivotal part of it is obviously the lumbar support, where this Astra does really well. Now, the seats themselves are nicely bolstered, both top and bottom. They are also finished in Alcantara, especially this tie rest there, and of course the headrest is just underneath, features some more Alcantara there. The door panels as well, you can find some Alcantara there too, and there's flashes of it here and there again framing the seats, so it does feel really premium in here. Now, going back to the materials, well, the top of the doors are finished in a nice soft touch plastic, same thing at the top of the dash there, and along this panel here are all soft to touch. In terms of the design, well, there is plenty of thought given to the practicalities of this Astra, so generous sized door bins there. You also get two phone holders inside here, and a 12-volt socket there, USB-A and USB-C, and you can actually cover it all up. Same thing with the two cup holders here, you can cover it all up there. And then this little space here, you can put your keys in, and I will give away a little secret here. The rubber mat underneath actually hides the Opel Shark. So if I pick that up, you'll see the little shark icon there. And then around the back and some of the other rubber bits, you'll find, I guess, other forms of sharks like PSA or DS or some of the other brands from that Peugeot Citroën group. Because of course, no matter what Dave said, this Astra was developed while Opel was under ownership from the PSA group, which of course is now Stellantis. Anyway, back to the Opel specific stuff. Now, the interior features a couple of really true Opel design aspects. So firstly, you have that pure panel there, which is the infotainment screen and the driver's instrument cluster, both of which are 10 inches, and I'll go into in a little bit. You also get all of the Intelli stuff. So to start off with, you get the Intelli air filter, which is in the air conditioning vents. You also get the Intelli HUD, which is the head-up display there. You also get the Intelli Vision reversing camera, which I'll show you on this screen here. And you also get the Intelli Drive 1.0, which is the suite of safety systems that come with this Astra. Now, this 10-inch infotainment screen there is part of Opel's Pure panel, which sort of simplifies this driver interaction with the whole technology aspect of this car in a way. Now, what I really like is the fact that you have that 10-inch touchscreen up there, but you also have buttons down here and here for all the more important stuff that you need instant access to. So that means the seat heating, steering heating, the temperature and passenger seat heating there, and then of course down here the air conditioning, fan and temperature controls, and you also get a knob there for your volume controls and the on-off switch essentially for your music. Now, the screen, underneath the screen, there's two key buttons there, one of which you press, and that gives you the advanced driver assistance system, ADAS, or all part of the Intelli Drive 1.0 system. And the panoramic camera down there is part of the IntelliVision 360-degree camera that the car offers you a view of your surroundings. Now, if I press the home shortcut back there, it takes me back to this screen. Of course, you do get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's standard on this Opel Pure panel. And of course, once you go into the application drawer here, you can actually click on Hey Opel, and then there's some more adjustments for your seat heating and stuff like that. Now, the second part of this Opel Pure panel is of course the 10-inch screen in front of the driver, and there you can see it's got all your vitals displayed quite neatly actually. So on the right you have your fuel gauge and of course your range there, and on the left side you have your rev counter, which does make quite a good noise when you are revving the car up. That 3-cylinder especially has got a unique note to it. In the middle there you have your vital sort of information. So firstly on the left you have your media input, so in the case the radio there, and then on the right side we have our average speed, average economy, and then our sort of travel distance so far as well. And you can change that around with the buttons on the steering wheel. Speaking of which, we have some more piano black plastic there, and of course on the left side you have the adaptive cruise control system, and on the right side you have controls for your volume and your phone. Notice the fact that there are also 2 paddle shifters behind here, and of course your stalks feel a little bit reminiscent of what you would see in the Peugeot as well. But the steering wheel in itself is very much Opel. You can see the Blitz logo over there, and of course the flat bottom and this unique 3-spoke look as well. Very much Opel design language from there. There's so much of intelligent stuff going on the interior of this Opel Astra as it is on the outside. But there have been plenty of improvements to the way this drives as well. So I think the best thing to do now is to go and do exactly that.
So the 6th generation Opel Astra, I have to come clean and say that I'm actually a little bit biased, and mainly because when I was in Rüsselsheim, had to name drop that, I actually spoke with the designer of this vehicle, an English chap, and it was really good to get his whole design ethos and how it's pieced together and what sort of went into it. We've written about it onto the website, but suffice to say, a lot has gone into this vehicle, particularly when you think about the bold and pure side of things, the visor, the front panel here, the pure panel. There's a lot of stuff that's gone into, and also the fact that they've kept a lot of nods to the old Astras of the past and thrown in a few sharks along the way. Fabulous.
It's actually been around since 1991, the Opel Astra nameplate, so again a very long running nameplate.
That's older than you.
Exactly, in this this side of the car market, and you can just see why the Astra has become such a favorite for so many different kinds of car buyers. I mean, you could have, you know, your young buyers who like this as a sort of expressive car and slightly sporty in its handling, and of course that lovely 3-cylinder noise as well is worth noting. The other thing is it can be, you know, a small family hatchback as well. It's got the capability for that, and of course comfortable on the motorway as well as perfectly fine in town. You know, it's an amazing all-around sort of hatchback from that sense.
Actually, it is quite an ideal little engine for that. I mean, 1.2, I mean, I would have sniffed that in my early days. But it actually, it gets up to 100 in sub 10 seconds, marginally, but it stays up to 100, and it just goes along the SH1 really well. Really happy with it. And it does have that lovely little note as engine note, as Matthew points out.
And building on that sportiness, so firstly you have 3 drive modes. There's normal, eco, and sport, and they don't adjust the suspension at all from our experience at least. But I've got to say that the suspension setup itself is slightly on the firmer side, but not in a way that, you know, it really jars you as you're driving along some of our more rougher roads, should I say, in New Zealand. And before Dave jumps in, I will make a note that even if the suspension was jarring, you've got these AGR or Action Gesunden Roken seats to thank for your back being preserved. So there's that.
Bless
too.
you. And it is, the seats, I have to say, are great. I mean, having somebody of my age with my back problems, it's actually really comfortable. You sort of get into the vehicle nicely.
That's correct. So getting in and out, once you're in as well, you feel really, I think, firmly cosseted with these bucket seats, and that dashes of Alcantara as well further add to the premium feeling, I think, that the Astra offers.
The information wise, loving it. There's so much stuff thrown at you. Matthew's already gone through it, obviously, but it's just so accessible. I like the way that it's just all within arm's reach and all intelligence or something. There's just, everything's intelligent apart from us two, really.
Yeah, as I said before, the air filter, the head-up display, the 360-degree camera, and the safety system all have an Intelli prefix to them. Now, I particularly want to remark on the rear cross-traffic system, because when you are backing out of a car park space, it has the ability to sense cyclists and pedestrians and all that stuff from about 4 meters away, which is a real big margin, and just goes that extra length to show how safety focused Opel are.
Yeah, absolutely. You do feel safe. You do feel like you're... Well, actually, I feel like I'm in quite a sporty hatch, actually, even with a 1.2 litre engine. The other thing is there are actually 2 engine variants on this. So I love this little engine here. It does really well. Love the soundtrack. But there's also a plug-in hybrid option as well. So those that are looking to actually just go in EV only mode, which you will be able to, there's another option out there, which hopefully we'll get to drive.
That is right, the Astra GSE, and then I'm not sure whether New Zealand gets it, but there is also an Astra Sports Tourer GSE, which is available in foreign markets. Now, speaking of that GSE badge, so that comes from the history of Opel, and again, they've done really well with incorporating the history into this particular Astra, right from the Sharks to the Blitz logo, which is being revamped as well as we speak. So from next year, Opels will feature the brand new Blitz logo. But on that note, they really have played well to that historical aspect, which again, Opel as a brand is of course so proud of. It's a long name, rather a long-running name in the car business, so they should be.
It's actually quite a short name, really, Opel. In terms of actual drivability, obviously we've gone about how comfortable the seats are. Visibility wise, actually pretty good. The A-pillar is not too intrusive, even for a vehicle that is only a hatchback. Visibility out the rear, providing you keep the headrest down, fine. And steering wise, actually really good, very positive. I like the feel to it, like having the Blitz logo pointing at me, and also there's even paddles, so you can actually get even sportier.
Correct, and I'm going to say, speaking of sporty, that Opel Pure panel is of course very much angled towards the driver, as is the center console here, so it's all about that sort of driver interaction with the car. And as a passenger, you do possibly feel a little bit removed, but there is sort of plenty of design elements and things for you to interact with, as well as the front passenger here. Not to mention that really good audio system too.
So there you have it, the new Opel Astra, 6th generation Opel Astra. It's new, it's improved visually. I love the design. Like I said, I'm biased. The frame is stronger, the efficiency is so much better. I mean, it's just a great little powerhouse under that bonnet from a 1.2 litre engine. I just love the way it feels when it drives, and also there's actually a lot of space. Even I don't have to sit really close to Matthew anymore. Fabulous.
I've got to say, a big part of that revitalized Opel brand is of course in the design aspects and bringing that sense of character through, and I think very much, you can feel that this is something unique, something different. It's an Opel, there's no mistaking it.
Nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.